Hello guys, Wahoo here, back with another video. This time around we are on the PTS server. You probably saw my patch notes video. I just did my patch note video, so go check that one out. It's linked in the description if you want to go over all the patch notes. But we're going to do the same thing as we did with the patch notes. Not so much ranting in the beginning, don't worry. We'll jump right into it. But I do want to say that we are going to do the same format where I'm going to, talk about the different, things that basically in the same way that the same order that we came in with the patch notes, but the timestamps to all of it, so you guys can of course go ahead and just jump to the thing that you want to see. We are going to start off by showing the new Solarion class. All right, so we got the Solarion class. I think I said actually, I'm thinking Mandalorian, I'm sorry, but that's just a different thing. But Solarion, maybe that's inspired from there, I don't know. But we got the Solarion class right here. As you can see, I talked about this actually in the PTS server, or PTS and patch notes thing about the arrows and stuff like that. It makes more sense when we get to that. But basically, all you have to know if you haven't seen the patch notes again video, basically it's a time, what's it called? Damage over time class, basically. So there isn't, a gem that actually applies damage over time, and I haven't tested that one yet. I'll try to test that one out while the PTS server, but now I'm just gonna bring you guys the information. And of course, I will make a build guide for this one, as I have done for all of them, and update it whenever it basically gets renewed or get reworked and all that stuff in a major way and stuff like that. So with that said, let's jump into the abilities. So basically this is a bunch of text, as you can see right here, but basically what it says right here is that you get energy whenever you apply some damage over time stuff to your enemy, and it ticks basically, and that's gonna take your energy up. Basically sort of like when the pirate captain gets those doubloons, right? It can't get the energy before it gets them doubloons from the enemy when shooting at it. So basically it's sort of the same thing, just with the ticks and stuff like that. So if you one-shot enemies, they're not going to give you as much as there would be an enemy that gives you around a long time. So bosses and stuff like that is going to be there. So, and also it says basically also about the Phoenix. Is the Phoenix? Oh, there he is. Hi. And by the way, this is the level 30 costume. I'm just going to show you guys that. That's the level 30 costume. So there's also the level 20 and level 10, and of course the starter one, and that also changes your bird basically to be a little bit different. I don't think it actually changes before you get to level 30. But level 30, you got yourself the golden bird basically, and this is the costume. So it might be also for the other costumes that you're gonna get. This is also probably gonna change. Usually does. And basically it says when this basically it can die. So a phoenix, as it dies, basically it's gonna resurrect as phoenixes do, and do some damage and put a damage over time and stuff like that. So basically it's just gonna attack when it dies. If it dies, it's not like it's just gonna randomly die, but if it dies, that's what's gonna happen basically. So the next ability is the sun flare. That's basically a shot. You can also just just shoot it, as you can see right there. You can just shoot it if you want to. Just hit it, and that's also gonna trigger your floating ability as well. When you basically use that ability, you don't have to actually hit an enemy to do that, but you could basically float if you want to. So you can float around to do so. Applying basically it's about applying damage over time, and you will basically not fly, but slowly fall basically. And also of course the Phoenix will target that enemy and damage that because you basically target it basically. But this is the one that's also going to give you the arrows. I'll show you guys when that gets there. But the thing that all the abilities that do apply it, that's why I'm saying about the gem. If the gem works and put that damage over time and get you these arrows, then basically you're just gonna turn into an auto attack character and not really use this or use any abilities of these, because like I get talked about in the patch notes is that these two are a little clunky to use, and they're basically better to be shown if we are going to show it basically. I wouldn't say in real life, but actually in a combat situation, if that makes a lot more sense. So I'll jump to a world and we can see, how these all things work together. All right, guys, now we are in I'm just going to go U3 because it's still just sort of fine to do this. It's just easier to show you guys. So basically, what it does is that, of course, I'll just show off to you the fire thing. And if you hold it down, it's going to be bigger and bigger and bigger until you basically release it, and then it's gonna be, you know, just emanating with the fire and so on. And it also might change what it looks like depending on what costume you have and stuff like that. But you have basically holding 3 charges of this, and then you can just shoot it as soon as you want to, but then it's just going to be like very small, as you can see, and kind of disappear pretty quickly and not spread as much as it would the other one as well. So holding it down is going to be better for doing more damage with this one. As you can see, I can use my, of course, my ultimate right there, but I can't use it again because I haven't you know, stacked up any energy over here, but I will do that, of course, with the damage over time. So if I go over here, I can actually get my Phoenix to kill it. There we go, see, and it applied a damage over time, because that's what the Phoenix do as well. So you can have the, you know, just a bird running around killing things. And as you can see right down here, we got some more stacks on the arrow, but that's going to be very boring to do so. So what we can do ourselves is that we can, of course, use our number 2 mouse button. Oh, that, of course, killed it. But let's do it with this one. If you hold it down, it's going to be applying more. So it's basically just a sort of a charging thing if you want to do so. You can also just leave it if you want to do so. Let me see if I can't find another enemy. Just like shoot it once like this, if I can even hit it. Oh, because I'm lagging a little bit. There we go. Damage over time. And now you can see I have full arrows. It doesn't have to be full arrows, but if you look at my shots now, you can see how much it shoots. You can see how many arrows it shoots, and it becomes less and less and less and less and less and less. I also get more attack speed with it when I shoot like that. So there you can see, or I feel like I get at least more attack speed. It might not be applying more attack speed, but it does make more arrows, and then basically it dwindles down depending on that. So the more you apply damage over time, so you can't just do it with the auto shot. Of course, this is only U3, and I'm a little over leveled or overpowered, I guess, a little bit for U3, but I just wanted to show the thing here with the, and I didn't want to run around trying to die all the time. But yeah, that's what it basically works. So that's why I'm saying I might not be using like this one, because it's sort of, it's cool, you can put it down, but in a dungeon situation, you know, I'm not gonna apply this. It's gonna be great probably. These you know, the number 1 ability and number 2 ability is probably gonna be very nice for killing bosses or boss or using it as a, you know, a boss killer. It can be used, of course, for that, but that's probably not going to be better than what we have. It's probably not going to push the top classes we have right now out of anything, but we'll see what happens. Maybe people find some secret tactics or something like that that's going to skyrocket it up to the top. But basically what I think is going to happen, if again the gem works, you know, it's going to auto shoot, and that's going to apply the damage over time. And if it does that, you know, that's going to give you the arrows, and that's going to be like spreading more. But I think I'm just going to run around doing it like with a you know, with a, you know, damage, basically just shooting it, auto shooting, because I feel like it's shooting pretty quickly still. It's probably not going to be my new main, probably not, but yeah, if it does, then you get more arrows. But you know, I'm used to the Shadow Hunter just being a single arrow there, so you know, I guess this is just the sun. Instead of having the Shadow Hunter, this is the Sun Hunter, huh? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Anyways, that was the class itself. I'll do, like I said, more when the build guide when the actually comes out, you know, because then we know what it's gonna be. But that, yeah, that was the class. Let's move on to the next thing. All right, so the next thing is, of course, the new biome. And I went here before. I could have showed you guys here, but this is, you know, we got us of the Forbidden Spires. That was the last biome, actually new biome we got way back when Guardian actually came out. And now we got a new one. So, and don't worry, I'll also talk about this. Of course, the difficulty is right up here instead, but so you don't worry, it's not like I can't go further. It's just, you know, I don't think they wanted to add more, so you had to drag around more. I wouldn't mind that, you know, I sort of like the dragging around, and it did the thing for all the other ones as well. I'll talk about that actually again, because it might be significant for if people skip this part. But yeah, this is the new biome. So as you can see, it looks very much like the you know, the sky biome we got and stuff like that. So basically you got the top layer right here, and then you got the bottom layer down here, and that's the dangerous place. I don't know, this is like the grim place, I don't know, but oh, and it decided to throw me down. Okay, cool. But you can get up here again. There's probably like a lot of people that are joining here and want to see what this is all about. But you can get up again. If you can see, you don't have to have a ton of jumps to get up, because you sort of should have if you can. But there's going to be these kind of staircases going up all over the place. I don't know if it's going to be all over the place, but there are bunches. There's one over there as well in the distance. But I'm thinking I'm just going to be a little way from the edge so I don't fall down again. But basically what I was saying before on the not the PTS server, but on the patch notes, is as you can see here, right here, this dungeon, if you see there's a blue arrow, there's up, and there's on this recipe dungeon, there's an arrow down. And the arrow down is, of course, because it's down at the bottom layer, and then on this one, it's because on the top layer. So you guys, if you ran here and you was like, there's no dungeon here, what is going on? You know, there was one here, but now there's not. Or you're looking for this one on the top layer and you can't find it. It's basically gonna be pretty, pretty annoying. I do not care too much for the new crosses on the map. I hope they're gonna change that back. I don't know why they changed them. I don't really like the new crosses. Maybe they were okay on these, but on the big dungeons, they look weird. They look weird to me. If you look at this one up here, I don't know if you can see it, but it sort of looks weird to me indeed. So not really sure about that, but I can get used to it. But as you can see, there's different biomes, and this one is going to be basically a skull cap right here. If this is going to be the biome for that, and it's going to be in all the places. It's also going to be all here from U1, basically from here, and it's going to be all over in the prime worlds and stuff like that. Of course, not in these. That's going to be usually what we're used to, but it's also going to be in here, but just randomly all the way up to U11 and stuff like that. But this is the new biome, and of course there's also a crafting bench with all of these. And if you go here, that is the new workbench. So of course there is the workbench. You can make it yourself if you want it here as well. So I'll make sure that I can actually get over here and actually get the bench. And then you can also donate, and that's probably going to get you some loot boxes that's going to have various things and stuff like that, getting you some of these here crystals and this bench, so you can have it in the in your club, basically in your club world or something like that. But yeah, it's also used to craft a class, I guess it says, but I think they just worded that wrong, because that's not what the recipe is. But this is what the recipe is going to be. It's going to be this Phoenix Soul. This is the Phoenix Soul. It's going to cost you some of these emotes. These emotes, or not emotes, but motes, is going to be from dungeons and stuff like that. As it says, bosses, invaders, and dungeons. And then you got the new ore. This is going to be the ore found all over the place. This can also be bought on the marketplace, so this is going to be the new bardium, just saying. And then you got yourself the supercharged crystals. I think you can craft them somewhere, but it basically actually it's not craftable. It's something you get from the 5-star dungeons in the Sundered Uplands, so the Sunlands basically. I don't really see any 5-star dungeons in this world, so I think it's exclusively to when you go to the geotop side, basically. I haven't been there yet, but I think that's where you can get them basically. And then you got the power cells. These can also be tradable, as you can see, and these are found in the cloud layer of the sun. So these are different ores as well. But these, I think it's gonna be one of these actually, right here. This one right here. If I can get to it, that would be nice. Can I get to it, please? PTS server, be nice. Okay, so we got nothing out of that one. I think we're just lagging, so that's all right. See, we are actually running down here, so I think I'll just keep to this. Let's just keep to this. Please give me back. Okay, let me get back. Please don't do it again. But we'll figure out how you are going to obtain these. But it seems like you can buy them, and you need a bunch of them. So I don't think they're super rare as well. Then you need some souls, and these are also trophies from radiant or irradiant creatures in the also in the Sunlands. I think it's some of these that are right over here, the ones over there as well. I don't want to move around too much, because I don't want to move that much around, so I will have to go back and forth all the time. But this is going to be the recipe for all of this. The big thing is probably going to be the new Irradium ore, the new gold ore, I guess you can call it, for this. It's probably going to be the hard one to pick up, but this is a little bit more accessible, I feel like, than bardium is, and or the crystal is. Then you need one of these containers as well. You can see this is the container. You need this one as well. So you need these two items basically and this is also some new ore and some other souls. from Ashen creatures. And Ashen creatures, basically what I think these two are, basically the Phoenix Soul is going to be from the top layer, basically, and then the Sunbeam Container is going to be from the bottom layer. So there's going to be a different ore at the bottom. That's going to be this one, and different things from other wares as well. I'm going to talk about the Primal Gem Shards as well when we get to that one. Then it's a bunch of costumes that is also with the pack that we were talking about before. A couple of wings. Hopefully these wings are better than the other wings they've added. But a bunch of other allies. You can see allies, more allies, mounts and allies as well. And then you got the tomes. So when you make one of these, you can get 18 unnatural devices. These are also used for actually crafting the Solarion. So I'm probably gonna get I love tomes, you know, so I'm definitely gonna get this one and then just farm this as much as I can. And the same thing with the supercharged crystals. And then of course you also got the one from the Ashen. And I think this is not a weekly one. I think this one is the these ones are, let me see, yeah, once a week and once a week. So these two are once a week, and these are repeatable. So this one can be, you can basically get the Ashen Sporlin, keep getting them, get them. So actually you actually need a lot of them to actually make them. But yeah, or actually I don't know if this is spelled wrong. It's basically saying the same thing. I don't know, but these are at least a new tome. So now we got, of course, the crystal gems as well, crystal gem shards. This is the one you need to, you know, for different things like back to here. You needed to make this one. You need 45. You also need them to also to craft basically the class. And these are made from these. So basically, you take a regular dust and you make one of these, you know, sparks, and you take 15 sparks of, or 12 actually, 12 sparks of each gem dust, and you make one of these. So basically 10 of these is 120 sparks, and the math is pretty high. So these are, there's going to be a lot of gem dust that has to go into this, so you can't just get this class right away either. These are empowered, crystal empowered gem boxes, which requires you some of these emotes, and of course one of these things here, right? And then empowered gem fragments are, of course, one we have right now. That's why I actually have some of these. So you can just save these up and then start farming these, and you can get yourself empowered ones. But if you already have powered up gems, as I have on the live servers, I'll just convert them into these. And this is actually what you're gonna convert them into if you want to do it sort of in a free way instead of using it. I tried to do it right here when you use the gem. I go to here. Oh, it's right now. It is actually, they did get the gem or the placeholder in. So right now it says it's basically they're just using the Regiminator one to get it, but you could basically use this one and just buy. Okay, we can't buy it right now. Can I buy it for real money? Oh, we can't. Okay, it might be coming up, but yeah, that's basically what you're gonna need. And you can also craft it here, but it's gonna cost you 10 of these, which we basically was 12 of each of these, so there's a lot of dust. And then some of these super Sundered Charged crystals, which of course is from the 5-star dungeons or from the tome that we had before, but probably easier to get them from the 5-star dungeon as well. Then of course there's some more allies, some wings, other wings as well actually. Wow, these are pretty crazy. You got some scrolls as well. Wow, okay, golden. Wow, okay, allow unrestricted flight restrict. Okay, yikes. Okay, so that's a lot of stuff as well. Do we have to look into? These are probably, but pretty amazing probably. And these are all the recipes you get from the recipe dungeons around and stuff like that to get that. And there's also, of course, a transformer to get the biome if you want that one in your club world as well. But that's basically the whole thing. I think this guy over here is the one that sells, yeah, that's gonna sell you some of these. The golden one, and there's also silver, and there's also bronze. So the gold one, that's gonna cost you 5,000. So actually, you should buy that, and like when you're gonna craft it, because these are gonna have a duration of 3 hours, online or offline. So if you just think, oh, I'm just gonna buy these and then get the rest of the items as well, then you are probably not gonna get this pretty quickly. You do need to get it, but that's actually pretty cool as well. And then it gives you flight in the world as well. But that's the biome. I think I should get all the information out there because that's what it is. But we are gonna move to the next item on the list. All right, so next on the list, we got, of course, the U11 worlds and stuff like that. We got the Atlas update and stuff like that. I kind of sort of talked about it before, but basically now we just have these world, like this is the water world. I wish they would change this to be bigger. I don't have any mod or anything like that. I wish they would make it bigger down here instead of just little like thing here. I don't know, it's not super hard to click or get by, but I just wish they would change this the difficulty to be bigger or something like that. You know, the drop down menu is fine, don't get me wrong, but still yeah, it's just gonna be basically what it is. But that you can see here is the requirement. 20,000 is required for Uber 11. I can also go here. That's just the prime world. Still 11. If I want to go here, still 11 as well. It actually doesn't say anything about. But I actually do have a bunch of here. So if I actually go on this, I shouldn't have much light. 1,000. I should be able not to enter. So let's see here. Okay, so that's 8. Okay, so it does say 20,000 and 3,000 light. So you need 3,000 light to get into Uber 11. Let's see, that's just still 2,125. Still a weird number. I think 3,000 is a lot better. Did that change? No, it doesn't. Okay. But yeah, and it also says level 30 plus. And when I mean plus, of course, that's more paragons. But yeah. It's not really, Paragon doesn't really do much there, but I think it's just suggested level that you're not level 30 or under. So it's like over level 30, right? If we ever get level 40, you know, they got it there, right? Also, I feel like this is a little bit squished now that I look at it. I feel like they should move, you know, geotopside a little down here so it's not as close to each other right there. I don't know, just a weird thought. But yeah, 3,000 light to get into Uber 11 geotopside. And it's basically the same thing for all of these, you know, all of these worlds. When you basically get to the end, you basically have to choose which one is here. And the same thing here with the U8 and you know 8 and the 9 as well for the Shores of Everdark. So that's sort of what they changed with all of it, and that's sort of this. I guess that's just a segment on the and the changes to the Uber 11. So it's basically just the same worlds, just higher difficulty as well. And this actually, this is a Radiant guy instead of being. So maybe these are the invaders as well. Anyways, we are gonna be pressing on to the subclasses because there's some very nice information or very important information there as well with that. So let's move on to subclasses. All right, so we now got these subclasses, and I'm taking this I'm putting this in the video because I talked about in the PTS notes that I didn't know if the Knight was gonna be as good as it usually, you know, everybody's using it right now because of the class capacity. And this still is in there. I just wanted to make sure that. So basically they took the very best subclass and made it even better. Not adding more damage or anything like that, but put this low health shield on. If you have a Knight at 40,000 power rank or higher, the shield is gonna, you know, when you come in at low health, I think it's like 25% or something like that, or 30%. It's gonna give you a shield for 85% of your maximum health. And of course, you're not gonna run a lot of health, but you're still basically going to be a lot more tanky and still keep the flask capacity that you've been used to all the time. So basically they just took the very best class. And of course people didn't take it for the movement speed, for the ground mount, but it's actually pretty nice. I like it. I can definitely feel the difference having this subclass and basically playing on my Knight, right? And because I can't have that subclass, and then when I go over to one that has it, I definitely can feel it. It's much more enjoyable to run around a little bit faster on your mount like that. But now they have this shield as well, which was not necessary. People were still going to pick this, even with the new subclass, and I'll show you guys that one in a little bit. They're still going to pick this one. Knight is still going to be the very best subclass there is in the game, in my opinion at least, because it's just so good with the flash capacity, and now with this shield thing as well. Because, you know, it's nice to get something other than that. You don't have to get another damage increase. That's not why people took it, but that's just much better. But the new subclass is down here, and the damage explosion thing is it's not terrible or anything like that, but we do get 140 light, and this is not going to change. This is changing with the level, so you can get it you know, higher and higher here, but it's still going to be 140 light, and it's 140 light compared to 6 flask extra. It doesn't really, it's not really doing it for me, if you can say it like that. 140 light is great if you're trying to get to some sort of breakpoint on like 6,000, 7,000, stuff like that. Then it can be nice to use this one, and the explosion is probably not too terrible. Also with the restores energy thing is not terrible either, but we do get a lot of energy regen usually, so I don't think that's really why you would take this. But 140 light is very, very little to add, like to use as a subclass compared to the knight. Even it might be a better contender. Of course, it would be better if they hadn't also put the shield on the knight, but yeah, 140 light is just not enough. But nice to see that a class is getting something different than just crit damage or max health or crit hit, for example. You know, this is the end game, and it also fits the class very well, so it's really nice to get it in there. But I would love to see them buff this a little bit more. 140 on level 30 is not that much. I would love to see at least be double or maybe even triple to actually compete with some of the other stats, because if it does that, you know, there might be some interest in actually picking this one instead of the knight, because you know, light is a very nice stat, and we don't know how well we are going to do in U11 in Geo Topside, but we're doing pretty well in U10, so I doubt that we are going to, you know, have much trouble in U11 doing damage with the light. But we'll see what is going to happen. But I just want to mention this, that they basically just buffed the best one. The best subclass is basically just the even better subclass now. So yeah. Get your knight to level 30. Try to get it to level not 400,000, 40,000, or maybe higher. Basically, that's just going to do the movement speed and the shield, so it's not really super important. The flash capacity is going to, you know, like I said, with the levels, so you're always going to have 6 if you're level 30. But of course, the movement speed is going to be faster. The shield is going to be bigger the higher you go on the power rank, and there's breaking points at level or power rank 300. Not 300. Well, I'm saying 100 still. 30,000, 35,000, and 40,000 for all of the classes, of course. But that's the breaking points. Every 5,000 power rank, basically, there's going to be a new breaking point. We can't see it in here, but there is basically just more percentages. And of course you can see here with the levels and stuff like that, it's gonna change. But yeah, this is a little bit underwhelming. 140 is not that much. You sometimes get 100 light out of just an ally. So yeah, I know subclass might be in the same line though. But let's move on to the very last stuff in the PTS. Alright, so the last thing I want to show you guys is of course the leaderboard we're talking about in the patch notes as well. And we got them right down here. So the highest weekly Paragon level, and there's a few that has gotten a few levels up here, 420. But you are getting a score. There is a score. So if you get 75, is that 75 power? That's probably 75 power ranks. Wow, Paragon levels. That's a lot of Paragon levels in a week. 75 plus. And then of course you get Bound Brilliance. I feel like this is also very hard to come by. Like also all the rewards are pretty low or pretty bad, because if you do your classes, you get the same thing, and that's pretty easy to get these. So I would see them change these. This is pretty hard, like 125 levels in a week just to get 7 Bound Brilliance. Meh. I don't think that's really that worth, but you know, if you do get you know 1 primal loop for getting to rank 10 or higher, and then of course you also got the highest Paragon level with a certain class. That's also gonna give you one for that specific class. But again, it's same still with the score and stuff like that. So I think that should be adjusted with that. But we do get, that was something, you know, idea, as I talked about in the PTS server notes there, that we are getting, you know, these that was actually, you know, recommended by me and Pog. So yeah, pretty nice indeed. So maybe they'll change it, but it's nice to see a leaderboard. Actually, what Pog wanted was one like, you know, for not all classes. What is it called? Like one for all people. Is there one down here? Oh, there is one down here. Okay. Okay, so there is one for all classes, but this is still a weekly one. So there's one weekly one, but these ones do not give a only for the ones that are in the contest, but there is one for weekly ones, so you can actually see all the classes for the week. But he wanted one that's gonna be for, you know, ever, who has the most Paragon levels in the whole game, just like over time, you know, a total one that's basically one forever and stuff like that. So, but this is at least a start, and maybe the other one is too hard to make. I don't know, but at least we have that one now, so that's at least some way of that. But anyways, don't want to make this video any longer. It's long enough as it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, go to the description if you want to check out the patch notes, or you want to check out the patch notes video that I did and stuff like that. And you know, PTS server's up, so you can go test some stuff if you want to do so and check all that stuff out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.